Well, hey y'all, welcome back to From the Holler. If you're new, my name is Missy, and we are back in my kitchen this evening. We're going to cook supper together. So, if you're ready, tonight we're having ground beef stroganoff, and y'all, it is semi-homemade. The only thing we are not making from scratch is the noodles. Everything else is going to be pulled from my pantry. So, with that said, let's get into making this stroganoff, shall we? Alright, y'all, the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to get a pot of water on the boil for my noodles, because all this is going to come together real quick, okay? So I'm going to grab some salt. Let me just bring it over here. I've got a couple of ears of corn roasting in the oven, and there we go. There is our salt. We're going to add the corn as the side for our meal. I don't know why. I'm just in the mood for corn. Like, I don't know. So now I've got my egg noodles over here. We're going to set them right there for right now until the water starts boiling. Over here, I'm going to turn my skillet on to about medium-high. I have got a pound of ground beef, and this is one of the ones that we got on clearance the other day. I just left it out. There wasn't no sense in putting it in the freezer and just getting it right back out. So we're just going to get this open. We're going to get this put in the pan. Now, this is one of Pap's favorite meals. He loves beef stroganoff, but he likes it with ground beef. He does not like it with the traditional beef tips. So I had to find a different recipe than the one I had. So now we're just going to get our ground beef chopped up. Alright, to our ground beef, we're going to add 2 cloves of garlic, and I've just got one of my little garlic pucks there. We're going to throw that in, and half of a medium onion. So I'm going to use about half of this bag, because these were good sized medium onions. So I'm just going to put about half of that in there. There we go. Maybe a titch more. There we go. Not a whole lot. And I'm just going to mix all that in. Let the onion and that garlic start doing its thing. I want that ground beef to get good and brown. We don't do pink in our ground beef around here. No. No. Alright, so now we're going to add in, the recipe calls for 1 pound of mushrooms sliced up. Y'all, I don't have fresh mushrooms, so I'm going to use 1 can. We are not that dedicated to mushrooms, so I just kind of went through and rough chopped these. We're just going to use one of the little, I think it's a 4-ounce can of mushrooms. That should be plenty for us. So I'm going to go ahead and get those in. Get those stirred in with the beef and the onion and garlic. Y'all, I love this smell. So it's not going to take these mushrooms any time to get soft, because, I mean, they're already done, you know. So alright, my water is boiling over here. I'm going to turn this down for just a second so I can focus over here. I'm going to grab my egg noodles, and we're just going to pour these in. Now, I have a little boy that has requested that Nanny make him some spaghetti with some of these egg noodles. So I'm going to go ahead and cook the whole bag. We'll see how that goes. We shall see. I may have to add a little bit of water to them since I cooked the whole bag. But he wants spaghetti, so. And wouldn't you know, lo and behold, he says that that is his favorite noodle for spaghetti. Yeah. Alright, back over here to this. So I still got the eye turned down for this over here. I'm going to add in a couple of tablespoons of all-purpose flour. Now we're just going to stir this. You want to make sure that there's no lumps. You don't want a big clump of flour. And we just want that flour to cook up for just a second. You don't want to taste the raw flour because yuck. And I know y'all can't hardly see for all the steam. I apologize for that. Alright, while that's doing its thing, I'm going to grab something out of the fridge. Alright, this is ready. So now we're going to put 1 cup of beef broth, and this is what I used. You just use 2 teaspoons of this in 1 cup of hot water, and it makes 1 cup of beef broth. Perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and pour that in. And then I need a cup of heavy cream. We need a tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce. And we're going to guesstimate on that. Maybe just a tiny bit more. We're going to stir that in. We're going to do about a half a teaspoon of salt. There we go. And about a half a teaspoon of pepper. There we go. Y'all, this is smelling so good. Just going to let this come up to a very low boil, okay? Very low. Let that, okay. It is at a very low boil, so we're going to turn this down to about medium low, okay? And we're going to let it sit here, and we're going to let it simmer for about 5 minutes. Y'all, I wish you could smell this. I wish you could. So we're going to let that sit there and simmer. We're going to check on everything else. I'm going to have to go add some more water to these noodles. And I know it's a big no-no at this point, but I'm going to. We'll be right back. Y'all, look. It's getting thick. It smells amazing. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Keep doing your thing. Keep doing your thing. I think this is ready, y'all. I think it is. Look how thick and beautiful that is. I think I'm going to go grab a spoon and I'm going to taste test it before I call it done. So that way, if it needs any more salt, pepper, whatever, I can add it now. So let me go do that. Alright, y'all. Let's see what this tastes like. I'm pretty good, but does need just a tiny bit more salt. Alright, I'm going to stir that salt in, give it just another second. Whoop, whoop, whoop. We have got one fixing to boil over. Let's don't do that. Let's grab that real quick. Y'all, these noodles are about done. They really are. Alright. Back to this. So now, I'm going to turn the heat off. We're going to put this spoon over here. We're going to slap that up there. Now I've taken it off the heat, so now I'm going to add about 1/3 of a cup of sour cream. Now this is the sour cream that I bought while it was on sale and put it in the freezer. And I just want y'all to see it thaws beautifully. So, I don't know that I'll use this whole thing. Let me grab a spoon, put this in with. Alright. So, about 1/3 of a cup. There we go. And we'll call that 1/3. And we're going to stir that in. You don't want to do this while it's still on the heat, okay? It will curdle your sour cream and yuck. Will not be good. Look how pretty. Look. Y'all know I got to taste test this again. You know I do. Going in. Oh, y'all. That's perfect. That's perfect. Let me go drain the noodles. Y'all, supper's ready. So for Aiden's spaghetti, I am opening up a jar of my home-canned, well, I said I was, home-canned Italian sauce. Okay, spaghetti sauce. I need one of them fancy-dancy jar openers, clearly, because oopsie. So I'm just going to pour this in. This is a little bit runny, but it'll be fine for him. I don't want to open up a whole big thing of spaghetti sauce. You know what I'm saying? So this will be fine for him. He will eat it up. Promise you. And the noodles will soak that up. So there's that. Little taste test. Y'all, I love that sauce. I wish it was a little bit thicker, but I learned a lesson when I made it last year, and I'll incorporate that lesson in this year's.